Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the Miami Heat and going over whether or not I think they should try and sign free agent Kawhi Leonard. But before we get into that topic, just a quick question for those of you viewing. If Kawhi Leonard was healthy, do you think the Clippers would have went on to win the finals, or do you think the Suns would have still sealed the deal and made the finals run themselves? Comment down below. If Kawhi was healthy, did the Clippers make the finals this year? But getting straight into it, a lot of variables would have to go into play here. The Heat would have to convince Kawhi Leonard that he has a better chance to win with them than he does with the Clippers, and I think he does. I mean, if you form a big three and can afford it all between Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Kawhi Leonard, that's one of the best, if not the best, big three in the league. You know, there's going to be other ones out there. The team in their East, the elephant in the room, KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. But defensively, I like that Heat match. I'm not saying they would win, but I'm just, right now, off the top of my head, just looking at, from a Blake point of view, I do think the Heat could be in the argument as a better big three. And to me, that would only be their biggest worry in the East. Yeah, there's going to be other teams. You know, if Giannis is healthy with Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, that's a pretty solid big three as well. But, you know, the Sixers falling apart. Hawks, I like them, but I don't take them serious against a healthy Nets team or a healthy Bucks team or a healthy Heat team with a big three. I just don't think they stand a chance. And of course, you know, a healthy Boston Celtics or a big Damian Lillard trade into the East could change things up. But as of now, on to today, on paper, if Kawhi Leonard formed a big three with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, I'd like them to make a pretty good shot or a pretty good run at the NBA Finals next year. And a big three is needed nowadays. You know, Steph, Clay, and Draymond, or Steph, Clay, and KD, or Kyrie, KD, and James Harden. I know they didn't win, but I think a lot of us agree that they will in time. Or LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love. LeBron and Anthony Davis was kind of only two, but they're both two top 7 players, one healthy, or two top 6 players last year at least. So that's kind of a, you know, there's no big three, but the two that they have are top 6, top 5 players at least as of last year. A big three is just needed now. Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, it's required. And I'm not saying, you know, if he stays with the Clippers and Paul George, that big two isn't great, but I just don't think it would get the job done. I think a big three is needed, and I think the Heat would definitely, you know, help convince and persuade Kawhi of that, you know, looking, you know, LA, you're going to compete, but if you want to make a serious title run for years and years, be on the same timeline as some of the guys we can make a running this very year. Not to say the Clippers can't. They were close this year, but a lot of things had to go their way, such as injuries, for them to really make it out. I think the Heat should pursue this as strong as they can, and I know they're gonna. You know, they wanted to sign Giannis before he re-signed a huge deal with the Bucks, so I know they're looking to add one more superstar, and they're looking to make some changes after they got swept in just the first round. But you gotta hope they could get Kawhi and still re-sign some of the guys they have. You know, you need some three-point shooters. Not to say Kawhi, Jimmy Butler, and Bam can't shoot a three, but, you know, that's not their star. That's not where their talent is pinpointed at. You want to try and keep a guy like Goran Dragic or Duncan Robinson, your guys that can shoot out on the wing, just outside of the key. You need a couple of three-point shooters. Again, they wouldn't be screwed if they didn't re-sign Duncan Robinson or Goran Dragic, but just the way the league's moving, you do need a three-point shooter, and you're going to have Tyler Hero, and hopefully he could develop, and there's still going to be guys on this team that can shoot. Jimmy and Kawhi, and even Bam can shoot a three, but you know what I mean. There's no lethal, dead shot three-point shooter. But I think just the defensive aspect, having Kawhi, Jimmy Butler, and Bam all on the same team, that's a very good defensive team that all have great mid-range, all can get a bucket. Again, the only thing holding them back is there's no pinpoint three-point shooter, and again, that is fine. It's just a small detail to think about. The only other issue that I could possibly think of, of course, affording all three for a very long time could be an issue, but is that Kawhi, I don't know if people are going to expect him to come to the Heat and be this leader that's just a spokesman of this huge personality being in Miami, Florida. I don't know if the Heat are going to expect it out of him, but they can't. Kawhi is not like that. He likes to just shut up and play. He likes his game to speak for him. We all know Kawhi's not a personable guy. So hopefully the Heat and Kawhi could work it out where Jimmy Butler is kind of the voice of the team. Even though Kawhi's probably the best player on the team, Jimmy Butler's the voice. He's the leader, and Kawhi's just kind of playing at his best, doing his work on the court, being the number one on the court, in game, in live, not outside of the court, not in the stands, not in press conferences or interviews. That's not where Kawhi's going to be the leader of the team, and he doesn't want to be. That would be an issue if the Heat are expecting that of him, and I don't think they can. But to me, I 100% think the Heat should try and pursue Kawhi Leonard. Why not? Like I said, you got swept this year in the first round, and you have the money and cap space to go out there and make a big signing, and you're already planning on doing so. And, you know, there's also speculations that maybe they could trade for Damian Lillard, but why give up assets when you could just sign a guy, and I don't want to say just as good as Damian Lillard because they're completely different. You know, you're comparing apples to oranges. They just play completely different. But as far as value, you could argue they're on similar values or similar levels of talent, and you're not giving up anything for Kawhi except money that you would give up anyways for anyone. You're not giving up any draft picks or any bench players that you might need and like you would for Dame. So to me, Kawhi Leonard would be the best route for the Heat to go this year, not only to make them better, but make them so much better that I like them to make a serious NBA Finals run. This offseason is going to be crazy. Who knows what the Nets are going to do? Are they going to keep Kyrie? Who knows what the Sixers are going to do? Are they going to keep Ben Simmons? Who knows what the Bucks are going to do? I think they'll keep their big three. Who knows what the Knicks are going to do? Who knows what Dame's going to do? The Warriors are going to do? Lakers are going to do? Clippers are going to do? A lot of possibilities out there. But for the Heat specifically, I think they should try as hard as they can to sign Kawhi and make him as happy as he can. You have to make it clear Kawhi doesn't have to be the leader and spokesman of this team. We got Jimmy to do that. While we know Jimmy's probably not the best player on the team, I think he'd willingly, be the leader and the spokesman and the personality that this team can look up to, so Kawhi can sit back and just play and win basketball games, and that's all he's got to do. I'm excited to see it happen. If it does happen, if I was forced to bet, I do think Kawhi will probably stay with the Clippers. But knowing how weird Kawhi is, not knowing how you could predict him, no one predicted him to go to the Clippers. No one even saw that coming. But so anything is possible. But if I was forced to bet, I do think the Clippers will work it out. But if the Heat can persuade them, Pat Riley, Jimmy Butler, and Bam can really just persuade them, saying, if you want a real title shot, if you want them to win several titles, come to Miami. And I think that could be enough to persuade them. We'll just have to see. And referring to the question of the day, do you think Kawhi would have, or the Clippers would have won if Kawhi was healthy this year? I don't think the Clippers would have swept the Suns like some people are saying, but I do think they win in 6 to 7 games. It'll be a great series again, but I don't think Chris Paul would be fighting for a ring anymore if Kawhi was healthy with the Clippers this year. But you guys tell me, I want to hear your opinion, and also tell me, do you agree or disagree that the Heat should go out there and pursue Kawhi Leonard? As always, and of course, I truly appreciate it. Thank you for watching. 2-minute warning.